We were really getting up there. In Far From Home, Peter makes another pop culture gaffe. This time, when Happy cranks up AC/DC's Back in Black as Peter gets ready to take on Mysterio, Peter comments that he loves Led Zeppelin. Good grief, Peter's cultural education is obviously lacking. We could argue that it's an easy mistake for him to make. After all, both bands were popular well before Peter would have been born. Still, Happy's music selection was a tribute to Tony. Kids these days. Throughout Far From Home, Peter is torn between his desire to take a vacation and Fury's need for his help with a city-destroying problem. Peter hasn't yet figured out what his obligations are as Spider-Man and what his obligations are as Peter. Does he jump into the fray, slinging spiderwebs whenever he's called, or are there specific boundaries that he needs to erect to protect his non-superhero life? Peter has never really considered these questions, and because Peter doesn't know where he stands, people like Fury try to dictate the terms of his superhero life for him. We've seen enough superhero movies to know that no matter how old the hero is, it's hard to balance a personal life with saving the world. Peter's struggle is even more difficult, though, because he's so young. He needs the space to be a teenager. He needs the time to get an education, date the girl he likes, and hang out with his friends. Yet he also wants to help in a way that only Spider-Man can. It leaves him in an impossible bind that's even more challenging because of his sometimes half-hearted commitment to being a superhero. When he passed away, Tony Stark left behind quite a legacy as Iron Man.
I am Iron Man.
Peter's close personal connection with Tony makes him feel like he, more than anyone else, has an obligation to live up to that legacy. While the other Avengers have forged their own identities, Peter became a hero in the shadow of Tony. Now that Tony's gone, Peter feels like he's obligated to be the next Iron Man.
You gonna be the next Iron Man now?
Well, no, I didn't have time. I'm too busy doing your job.
And he has spent so much time idolizing Tony and his accomplishments that it seems like an impossible task. On top of that, Peter isn't sure that he even wants to be the next Iron Man, or if he just wants to escape from Tony's legacy altogether. What Peter doesn't realize is that in the end, he doesn't have to be the next Iron Man. He just has to be the best Spider-Man he can be. Ultimately, it's Happy that helps Peter realize that Tony had insecurities about being a superhero too. Tony was a mess, and Happy knew it, but Peter never did. Realizing that Tony wasn't a perfect superhero either helps free Peter to some degree. Hopefully, as time goes on, Peter will come into his own even more as Spider-Man and Peter Parker. For now, though, Peter's a kid with extraordinary abilities and responsibilities. And Far From Home isn't afraid to remind us that he's not grown up just yet. Which of these Spider-Man Far From Home moments reminded you that Peter Parker is still just 16? Are there any other moments that we missed? Share away in the comments. If you enjoyed this video, please hit the thumbs up button and subscribe to The Binger for more great pop culture content. Thanks for watching.